another episode. This will be episode 3 of the Just Cuz podcast. Being a little bit of a break here for Aliyaz and I. We've been busy. We did actually record a 3rd episode a while back, but just didn't have time to edit it. So this is where we're at now. Good to see you, buddy. What's going on?
Yeah, it's good to see you. I thought you'd be happier to see me.
Man, I was going to make the exact same joke. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, really? There's a story behind it. There's a story behind it. I thought you'd
be more excited. I thought you'd be more excited to see me.
Yeah. I thought you'd be happier to see me.
What the hell?
Yo, man. Should we tell this story?
Yeah. So Aliyaz and I actually met up at out in Langley, where apparently Aliyaz is a celebrity because everywhere we went to one place and he knew like 6 people in that one establishment, and we go up and lo and behold we're walking in and the town celebrities just get greeted by a couple buddies.
Yeah, so we're watching it was the Buffalo Minnesota game. I think it was the overtimes. We were rushing in to get in. And like we were like, okay, we're just gonna quickly rush in, get a spot, and watch the overtime. And then a few high school buddies come out, and they're like, "Yo, what's up, man? Great to see you." I'm like, "Hey, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Long time. Hope things are well." And this guy just keeps going up to me that I knew from high school. He's like, "Yo, I thought you'd be happier to see me. I thought you'd be happier to see me." Like, "Yo, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to say here?" Oh man,
he wanted guy, he wanted you to jump up, you know.
Yeah. I don't know what. Like I dapped him up like 14 times. I dapped him up like 14 times. And I don't know what else I can do, man. I really don't know what else he wanted me to do there. But great guy, really nice guy. So funny. But it was just. It was funny. He finally made it in, and then lo and behold, there was a waitress that I knew for a very long time, and she knew me since like I was like 19. So I've known her for many years. Jeez. And she
hooked us up. She got us some first on the happy hour and everything. So it was a good time at. I forget what it's called, but someplace in Langley. That's good bars out there. So
yeah, it was
a good place to watch a game. There's many screens. So
yeah, many screens. They had all the games on. It was good. Shout out to Clayton Public House.
Sponsor us.
Yeah, you could sponsor us if you want it.
That was a pretty good read right there. Pretty good.
I do know the owner actually.
Endorsement. Good endorsement for them. Anyways, but yeah, what else is going on?
Yeah, I was literally about to ask the same thing. Not too much, man. It's been yep. A lot actually, but like with just work and the holiday season and you know, there's just been trying to catch up with life and just trying to keep at it. And you know, we definitely missed recording, but hopefully we can, you know, kind of stay on it here and get more episodes out for the people that do watch. I know our YouTube.
People.
Sorry, what?
For the people.
For the people, we the people. Yeah, so it's been just busy with work. What about yourself?
Yeah, much of the same. Being super busy with work, and I also work at UBC on the weekends, so been doing a lot of talking because I do their play-by-play. So it's been a lot of talking. I had to do volleyball last weekend, which is not something that I do a ton of. Like I've done a lot of it, but like I've been pretty out of practice with that. So I was really grasping at straws, and I had no color person. Which, if you don't know, when you have people announcing games, you have a play-by-play person calling out the plays and someone to fill in the color who maybe knows a little bit more about the sport, which I know volleyball, but like not enough. You know, I had to fill 2 back-to-back games last weekend, and by the end of that, I was just like, I don't want to speak another word
Yeah, exactly.
So that was tough because it was.
I'd imagine I've never done play-by-play. I've never done play-by-play before, but I'd imagine it does take a lot out of you. By the end of it, you're just like, okay,
yeah.
I just want to kind of get in my car and just listen to like a podcast or something, and just like get out of my own head, almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a very quiet drive after that for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you turned on the Just Cuz podcast. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's kind of like working two jobs right now. So we've been busy, but no excuses. No excuses. We gotta keep her going and get some content out there. So
What else has been going on? You got any special plans for the holiday season? I know families scattered everywhere right now. Your sister's on a crazy vacation, and how's the family? You guys got any plans for the holiday season?
Nothing too crazy. It's I don't even know what we're gonna do this year because we have less family coming in than usual, and don't know who's coming in. So we'll see what happens. And then. Yeah, I don't even know. Just get through it, pretty much. But we will have our Christmas party at some point. So on our side, so
yeah, for sure. That's always fun. That.
Mm-hmm. We actually used to do full on tournaments, sequence tournaments. If you guys know sequence the game during our Christmas parties, so we do it every year, and we've had some great ones over the years. Yeah,
now I feel like after like food and like by the time like the whole the naughty Santa or Secret Santa, it's not Secret Santa. It's like I think it's called Naughty Santa, right, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, where you can steal gifts and
where you steal gifts or whatever. By the time that game is over, and then dessert and everything, it runs pretty late, so it's almost like there isn't much time for games after everyone's so tired and turkeyed out. You know what I mean? Something about turkey, the meat, it just puts you out for some reason. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
I've been watching a lot of TikToks on turkeys after Thanksgiving because we saw the American Thanksgiving stuff.
Yeah.
So. No, I'm pumped for some turkey for sure.
For sure. Who's cooking the bird this year on our side?
I don't know. There's a lot of things up in the air this year. We don't know what's happening. We might just be, having grilled cheese sandwiches at this point.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I have no idea what's happening on either side of my family's. But
exactly.
Yeah.
It's not exactly put together yet. Nobody's prepared. It's all going to come together last minute, basically.
December 23rd, December 24th, we'll start figuring it out.
Yeah, it's like,
we'll start figuring it out.
Yeah, it's like, by the way, guys, you guys need to get a gift and all that. No, but it's fun. It's always something that we look forward to, and with COVID, it's been we were kind of not able to do it every year, and. It's something that you definitely look back and realize how much fun and how important those days are. So it's definitely something we're looking forward to as the holiday season. That's one of our family traditions. So I definitely look forward to that.
Yep. And speaking of tradition, we got the World Cup happening. I know your favorite player in the world just scored. Lionel Messi in his 1,000th game might have the answer for Argentina to get them through to pass this first round of the knockout stage. I'm assuming that that's the case. I haven't checked the scores, but they're up 1-0, and you would think that they'd be pretty comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, Australia didn't look too good. I was watching maybe like 10, 15 minutes of the game before we stepped off to record. But I feel like they got a favorable draw with getting Australia. Australia is a second tier team. They're not going to get a real test probably till the next round. So yeah, hopefully Argentina finds a way to lose. Messi doesn't get his World Cup. I don't know. I'm a Brazil fan, so it's like if you like, it's just like if you like Brazil, if you love Brazil, you can't like Argentina. It's just like two conflicting. That's the way I view it. But I like Brazil and England and obviously Canada, which we had a bit of a tumultuous run there. We didn't really put it together, but those are my three teams that I cheer for.
For the Messi thing, though, I feel like it's a little bit extra for you. Like you have a little extra something there for Messi. Like you really don't like Messi. I can understand not cheering for Argentina, but like I don't understand the Messi hate.
I don't like him. I feel I don't know what it is. I don't like. I've never liked Messi. I've never liked like Argentina. I never liked Maradona. I never liked just like that any player from that country really. Like I've never really liked. I don't know what it is. So if any Argentina fans are out there, I'm sorry. I'm sure you're a great person, but I just don't
just
like
Argentinians in general.
I don't like your national soccer team.
Maybe it's the baby blue. You're just not a fan of baby blue.
Hey, blue's my favorite color, but I don't know what it is.
Just not for them.
Just not for them. Yeah, exactly. What about you? Do you have any teams that you're cheering for?
I'm pretty impartial when it comes to the World Cup. I don't have a lot of loyalties in that way. Obviously, Canada was there, and that would have been something. But it would have been something to see them get to the knockout stage. But is what it is. It's didn't quite work out that way. I would have liked to see a little bit more fight in them. I think the Belgium game, losing that Belgium game, which they played really well in, just really demoralized them, and that's why I think when we got into the later games, we didn't see as much fire out of them. Then again, Belgium didn't have a great tournament either, so who knows what actually happened there. I mean, like I said in our group chat, I wanted to see Messi versus Ronaldo in the final. I think that would be what amazing World Cup final to see those two go head to head. Two of the best in the world and in their last tournaments, last World Cups, I believe. So that would be, a hell of a game. So that's just what I'm cheering for. I guess Argentina and Portugal, and just to get to the final and to see that happen. Neymar, if he comes back too, that'd be cool to see him in the final. So I'm pretty impartial. I just want to see some
Brazil
soccer.
Brazil and Argentina are on the same draw for the thing, so they could potentially meet in the semifinal if it works out that way. So that would be a must-watch TV if they both reach that stage. But
England too. Like that could be fun to have England win or get to the final. I feel like it's been so long, and every year it's like it's coming home. Isn't that their slogan? It's like every single year it's like it's coming home. It's like I don't think so, man. It's been a long time. I don't think anything's coming home. Maybe if you send the diamonds back to India and those go home, then maybe you'll get your thing will come home. It'd be cool to see England win too, just because there's so many fans and them get far.
They're the craziest fan base. I feel like they just They're just they're the most craziest, the most passionate. They're the most okay, maybe not the most passionate. Like they're passionate in their own way, but like they're just like some of the stuff they do. They say it's quite far out there, and it's they're fun to watch. Just their fan base, some of the stuff they do and say, and
who's even on their team? Like I don't know.
On England, they have
my namesake on there?
They have a good team.
Does that guy make it?
Sorry?
Yeah, they do. They got Raheem Sterling. All right.
They got
So I should cheer for them, I guess.
They got Harry Kane. They got Marcus Rashford. They got Saka. It's a good squad. It's a good squad. They got a good team. I don't necessarily like their manager, Gareth Southgate. I feel like some of the stuff he does, the formations he runs, and just he's been under scrutiny for the way he's managed the team. So I feel like if he doesn't get this squad to at least the semifinal, I feel like this might be his current call as manager for England.
Well, speaking of managers, we saw the Canadian manager get some heat, John Herdman. Did you catch his? I guess he fired up Croatia, gave them some bulletin board material with his weird comments. I mean, I thought they were just kind of unnecessary. He said F Croatia or something. But then there was a bit of backlash for him, bit of backlash for Davies. Did you catch that? After the Canadian exit?
It was a bit of a... looking back on it, the comment was stupid when he made what he made, but like I get what his reasoning behind it. He was very passionate after that Belgium game. He thought that we should have either drawn that game or won it, and he just wanted to fire his squad up. And he's a passionate manager. Uses it as a tactic, and he kind of wanted to take off the heat off Davies for not getting that penalty, and it did. Nobody was talking about Davies missing that penalty really too much because of Herdman's comments leading up to the Croatia game, and it was all about Herdman's comments, F Croatia, and then Croatia fired back with some caricature of Herdman, but it was just...
I think they came out with a magazine after they won or some title that was like, now who's doing, or who F2 or something like that, after they won. So pretty funny. I mean, I think that they were maybe a little, I guess like it's a language thing too, right? Like that might mean something more to them, and they kind of took it a little bit, took offense to it. And it's always weird when you're dealing with countries and not just teams. So I think they probably took it as like a country thing.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. At the end of the day, they lost, and there's not much that you can say beyond that. I will say that for Davies, we're not there without him. So it's pretty, it's tough that he goes and misses the penalty, but at the same time, from what I read and stuff, it's not usually his penalty to take. It's usually David that takes the penalties.
Yeah, David was taking the penalties for his club, Lille, and he was pretty clinical on them. He was like 6 for 9 or 7 for 9 or something. Yeah, it just comes down to Herdman said that the players decided on the field in that moment, and that was terrible. As a manager, you should be deciding who's taking your penalties. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it is what it is. They showed up. They were there. Maybe like you seeing your buddy, they could have been more excited to be there. No, but they were pretty excited to be there, and I think that it was a big moment for our country. Anyway, even to get a goal was big for us. So we'll go back to the drawing board. But I feel like there's so much potential in this country. Like, why couldn't we be like in England or something like that? If you look at our population and the way it is too, like there's so many guys from England who are coming from as like immigrants, and we have Davies, who's a refugee himself, and so we have all these people coming from all these backgrounds, and such a universal thing to be into soccer coming from all those places. So I think there's a lot of potential with Canada becoming a soccer nation and being good and actually competing at some point, maybe in the next couple World Cups. Hopefully the next one could be we'd be playing some games here in Canada.
Yeah, and Vancouver is one of the host cities, so it would be. I'm sure they'll get a Canada game, so it would be something really cool to see. Next World Cup, they're actually expanding it to 48 teams, I believe. So Canada, as one of the how it works in the draw, they'll be one of the top teams. So they'll get a team that's ranked like 30, anywhere between 26 to 32, and then they'll also get a pot 4 team, which is like a really low ranked team. So, and then they'll get someone that's a little bit higher. But they were saying that they should have a good chance to come out of their group because of how they're ranked and which way the pot is. Like Qatar was.
They had a slightly easier group.
Exactly.
As being the host, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, there's going to be lots to come on lots to come for Canada in terms of growing as a soccer / I guess football nation. But speaking of the sports that we do follow pretty closely here in Canada, it's been pretty busy in the hockey world. What have you been watching any of the games recently?
Watching here and there when I get a chance. It just comes down to if I care anymore. You know what I mean? I'm
checking out.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Just staying with this team and if they don't care, why should I? At this point, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of heat going around and a lot of things just swirling right now to the point it's just going from bad to worse, with Demko getting injured now just when he's trying to find his game, and it's been a weird season, and you know, on top of that list, because of his contract and his extension that doesn't kick in until next year, is JT Miller. He's taken a lot of heat on Twitter for people, you know, bringing up his plays that he's just given up on, and he looks unmotivated, and it's a mess right now.
Just looking at a tweet that was shared, they're benching Boudreaux's benching Brock Besser. So I guess he's trying to send messages throughout the locker room, and something has to click, or he's trying to make something click within his star players, and it's obviously he has to. He's just trying to make something click, basically.
Yeah, I mean he's trying different things. It's not his fault, but ultimately he's probably going to pay the price. I can't imagine that they're going to keep him to the end of the season. That doesn't seem like a real thing that will happen. I think Bruce There It is pretty much in the past at this point. So I don't think that he has much. He's kind of just trying different things. But you know, if I'm management, like, and I'm looking at that team, the thing is, like, Brock is, I don't think he's going to find his game as a Canuck. I think Brock Besser needs a new team, because I think he has a ton of talent. Like, we've seen the way he can put the puck in the net, the way he can go on streaks, but I just don't think that it's going to be there for him. I think it's going to be like a Jarrett McCann situation where we see him be a top player somewhere else, and that's fine. But for our purposes, we need him to find his game before we can trade him, because we're not going to get any value until he does that. So until he starts putting the puck in the net and teams see that he hasn't lost it, you know, can start making some good offers for him. I think that needs to be a piece that needs to go this season.
Yeah, I mean, he has not been performing to what his contract says or his potential. They've mixed him around, thrown him on the first line, second line, third line, put him into different situations. He still cannot find his game. And that goes for many other players on this team too. It's just so frustrating to see them just like get blown out on back-to-back nights. Yeah, they're good teams that we're losing to, but if you look at our roster, I mean, I mentioned this before. Like we have talent there. Like, am I wrong for saying that there is talent on this team? Like.
No, absolutely. It's a talented team, for sure. There's guys there that can put the puck in the net. We have some good the good offensive defenseman in Quinn Hughes. I think our D is pretty weak otherwise, but he makes up for a lot of mistakes. But speaking for making up for a lot of mistakes, I mean, if anybody watched Demko last season, he made up for a lot of mistakes that the Canucks made just because he was playing out of his mind. And pains me to say this, but I'm worried to a certain extent that we might be seeing like a Corey Schneider in New Jersey situation where Corey Schneider goes to New Jersey, has no defense in front of him, and is just getting shelled every night, but holding them in games because he was that good. And then his body just breaks down after a couple seasons.
Yeah.
Because he just couldn't keep up with what they were asking him to do, which was basically make up for not having good D-zone coverage by the Devils. And so that worries me in seeing Demko get injured right now. Maybe I'm just, being a little bit paranoid there. But because he's pretty young and he should be okay. But it's concerning because not that Demko has done that this season, but we saw that last season. He really was the reason that we had, we were where we were, and he made up for a ton of mistakes.
I completely agree where your head was at on that, and that's a great point. Like he just does not look like the same player this year. He's trying to do, it almost seems like he's trying to do too much and overcompensate for our deficiencies on the back end and our inability to keep the puck out of our own zone and move the puck from our defense to our forwards. Our cohesion with our defensive pairs, there doesn't seem, other than Quinn Hughes, there doesn't seem like a guy that can consistently be counted on to move the puck out of their own end, defend. And that's why I don't understand why they don't give Jack Rathbone more of a play. He is someone that has shown that he can move the puck out of his own end. Maybe he's a little bit of a suspect on the defensive side. But the only way to improve on that and learning, in my opinion, is playing at that top tier level and learning from your mistakes and kind of developing. I would love to see him get more play night after night as someone that can move the puck, that you can put into an offensive situations from the back end. Over a guy like a Riley Stillman or a, just like one of the fifth or sixth guys in our lineup. And I feel like I'm very confused as to why someone like that, he is currently down in the minors, but with Vasily Podkolzin, who's also been struggling this year and has not found his game. And it's honestly, it feels like a perfect storm of a terrible season with this team. And all the players that you were hoping that would take that next step have not taken that next step. I was saying before this year, because I was very excited for the team and I had high hopes and I thought this would be a playoff year. I thought that this could be a Vezina season for Demko. It's been an opposite.
I don't think that was based on last season. I don't think that was a crazy statement to make. The way he played last season gave you a lot of indication that this guy could do that. The problem is they didn't really get better in front of him. So, I mean, you added some pieces on the forward then, but you really needed to do something on the defense. And I get that it was it's a tight market and it's hard to find a defender and an effective one, especially with our cap situation. So, I get that it's tough, but I think it comes down to, what you were saying is the identity of this team. And it just doesn't really have an identity. We don't have, I think a lot of Canucks fans have looked at Rathbone and said, wow, he does some nice things. There's some things, some pieces to his game that can improve, and would be exciting. But on a team that's trying to make the playoffs, it's hard to say, oh yeah, it's okay to put him out there because he is a bit of a liability on the defensive end. If you're watching his game, his communication with his partners and he's given up a lot of chances, and he, understandably so. He's young. He's going to make mistakes, but it comes back to the identity. And same thing with Pods and Hoglander and these guys that we don't see getting as much ice time. Well, they want to make the playoffs. They keep wanting to make the playoffs with this team, and that's why we have Miller for 8 more or 7 more years or whatever it is, and that's why we have all these guys that we're trying to keep together and trying to keep this core. So that's kind of the identity, but they're stuck between that and not having the talent level to match up to being that team that gets to the playoffs and goes or makes some noise in the playoffs. So I don't know. It's tough. There's no answer right now, but I'm team tank season. Like we got once in a lifetime or once in a decade or more chance at a guy, and even if you miss, you might get another guy. So
yeah, I mean,
I'm team tank.
If you're going to be tanking, this is probably the season to do it. This draft is littered with good players. You can see from the way teams are holding on to picks for this season, and I think that you'll see that going into the deadline, you'll see a lot of teams not wanting to give away high picks for rentals or for players or draft picks this season. They may give draft picks for 2024 because of the depth pool in this draft. So it's frustrating as a fan and of this team and not having made the playoffs in so long and not seeing a real light at the end of the tunnel. You just wonder where does this team go, and where does ownership, not necessarily ownership, where does management kind of?
No, I think they're intertwined. I think being in this market, we should know that they're intertwined, right? Ownership usually has a lot to say.
But where does management and ownership, and where do they see the direction of this team? Because I personally, I want to see a cup in my lifetime. Like I just would love to experience that, and I don't know if that's going to be a possibility.
We'll always have 2011. We'll always have 2011. We're within a game.
94, 2011.
Boston.
People hold on to those runs like they cherish them. But they've
got my buddy here, Hank Sedin. Shout out
the Sedins and Luongo. They made a.
They couldn't even get a win on their night. Oh my god! Or put up a fight.
They made a cameo. I think they panned to Luongo and the Sedins, and they look like they'd rather be anywhere else than at that game. Honestly.
They're like, actually, I'm good. I don't want to be honored by this team.
yeah. What did you hear Lou's comments? Did you hear what he had to say? He said he's like, this.
That was awesome. That was awesome. I love that. For those of you who didn't see, Lou said, I know there was some debate about whether I should be in the Ring of Honor or something along those lines, Ring of Honor or in the as a banner, and that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is nights like this where I can come and like be with the fans and be with you guys and stuff. So that was pretty cool. I mean, that was a great way to handle it too. I definitely think it's dumb that he's not having his jersey retired though.
He's honestly one of my all-time favorite Canucks. He's the last jersey I've bought. Yeah. Might be one of the last jerseys I ever buy with the way this team, unless it's another like player that's already retired. But nobody really deserves for me to spend the money on this team to buy a jersey right now, and it's tough. Yeah. It sucks to see. I said about Podkolzin, I'd like your opinion. What's going on with him? Like at the end of the year, he showed so much promise. Like, why has he not been able to, and it's weird because Miller, even Miller and other teammates even made comments. He's like, yeah, Pods is like one of those guys. Like, he's been working all off season. You're going to see the huge jump. He's one of the hardest workers on the ice. He's one of the first guys in, last guys out. Kind of just like, guys, why have we not seen that translate?
I don't know. I wish I had an answer. Like, it's not something we've seen a lot of his promise come out in different situations, and it's similar to Rathbone, right? Like, it's like you've seen a lot of good things in their game, but just things are not really put together. I mean, Rathbone's younger, I believe, but the thing with Pods and bringing up those young guys, they got to play. And I think that's probably part of why he's down in the AHL, because he's not getting the ice time that he needs up here, and not getting as much of a look. But I mean, it's I don't have an answer. Like, I wish he would figure it out. Again, I think it comes back to the identity and just where we see where you want guys to be. It'd be nice to have guys, a team like New York, where you have young guys who can sort of find their footing on the third line, and you're not relying on them as much.
Those teams like New York and New Jersey and stuff, they just got so lucky in the draft, like in the lottery. It's frustrating to see like where we have been in there.
Well, like, they've made some good picks too. Got to give them some credit for some good picks.
Who?
And the fact that players really wanted to go there too.
Who?
The Rangers, at least.
Well,
the Rangers, you got to give some credit. You got to give some credit to the Devils too.
They had the first overall pick twice. The Rangers. I mean, when was the last time we had the first overall pick?
Devils had the first overall pick twice.
I thought the Rangers took Lafreniere.
No, Rangers took. They had the second with Kako, and then
they had Lafreniere.
Yeah, the first was Lafreniere, so they also had a first.
Yeah.
But the Devils had some high picks too, with Hischier, who's their captain,
Jack Hughes,
and Jack Hughes, right? So, yeah, that's true too. I mean, but the other thing is, like, for the Rangers, guys wanted to go there. I mean, look what Adam Fox did to get his way to New York. Panarin wanted to sign there. Trouba wanted to be there. Not that Trouba is being great for them anymore. He's had a rough go this season, but you know, guys wanted to go there too. So we have to kind of build something where people want to come here, players want to come here.
No, for sure. And it's crazy to see how a team like Seattle in their second year have already taken that step and are just. I really liked what they did in the expansion draft. They went heavy defense, and a lot of the players they took were defensive players, and they went a different model. And they knew that going into that first year, they were going to suffer a bit in scoring, which they did. But in the second year, they let their D gel together. They've come together in the second year. They added like Burakovsky, just like players that can contribute and help some of their guys. You've seen Jaden Schwartz be a guy that's been relied upon there. They just have like really good depth all around. It's cool.
It's cool to see, I think.
Yeah, it's cool to see, but it's frustrating coming from a team just across the way and how we can't seem to figure it out. And it's
if they make the playoffs this year and we don't, not a good look.
Yeah, it's a terrible look. Like Vegas has found a way to come in and have a success year after year. Seattle's has in the second year has already come in and found a way to have success. We are still spinning our wheels and still trying to figure it out. Yeah. It's a bad look all around, and I don't know how much. I really don't know how much longer fans are going to give this regime and team. Like, you're going to start losing fans. Like, if you don't, they
already have.
Yeah, they're starting to, but like, you're going to like lose a big majority of the fan base. Like, the diehards will always be there. The diehards will diehards, but like the regular casual fan that is growing up, they're gonna watch it. A little kid growing up that's gonna be watching, turn on the Canucks game. They're not gonna cheer for them because because they're going to cheer for, I don't know, Edmonton or
yeah, it's a good point.
And fall in love with, you know, McDavid and or, you know, New Jersey or you know, I don't know. It's
also so different from when we grew up as diehard Canucks fans, because I mean, the access you get to every team now is you can watch any team you want. So why would you choose to watch the Canucks? You know, apart from that regional, local allegiance, there, you know, the field is open for you to cheer for whatever team you want as a kid. So it's a tougher to get those diehard fans that, you know, like when we were growing up, it was the Canucks were the Canucks. Like, it didn't matter that they were shit half the time. They were the ones that we were cheering for. They were the ones on TV every night. And now there's so many different options for kids to watch whatever team they want.
Exactly. And it's and there's so many other sports and stuff going on too that even the casual, you might even not even the Canucks fan, you might just lose the casual hockey fan, and that sucks for a sport that you want to keep growing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially in the States, that is not like Canada. It's a market that, yeah, there's hubs that have where they'll always have the fans, but like there's markets in the States that you want to keep growing that, and I feel like parity throughout the league is good, and when you don't have that in certain markets, it does hurt the product, the quality, and it does hurt the fans and growing the game.
For sure, it does. But yeah, we'll get off the Canucks here. It's been in the NHL, I think, for now. The season rolls on, and you know, we're getting to, I guess, not the halfway point, but we're moving along pretty quick in the NHL season. So maybe we'll see, you know, what happens if the Kraken can hold it up, if the Canucks turn it around in later episodes. Moving on, I guess I'll get a quick.
Before we continue, this is a good segue into our next topic. Is I'd like to shout you out personally. You're one of 3 left in the Survivor pool. Yeah. That's incredible, man. Like that's actually crazy. There was quite a bit amount of entrants, and you're one of the 3 left, and it's we're all rooting for you.
Just a genius. Like, what can I say, man?
You make plays, right?
I make plays. Yeah.
What are you looking at this week? Who's your pick this week?
I have the return of Deshaun Watson is interesting to me. I've been going hard against any team that plays. I've been picking teams that play the Texans a lot. I had the Raiders the week they played the Texans. I had Miami last week. Texans are bad. Like, they're really bad. But it's tough because, you know, they might have that like gear where they're like bringing, seeing Deshaun come back, you'd rally behind their fans. You know, there's going to be a lot of fans who are there and who are jeering and cheering at Deshaun. He hasn't played in so long. Who knows what he's going to have, you know, when he comes out. But the Browns are a good team. Like, they could hand the ball off to Chubb and you know, their defense and put the game in their hands. And I feel like they should come up with a win. So that's what I'm looking at this week is the Browns.
Any other options?
Because, yeah, the Cowboys, I haven't picked them yet, and they play the Colts, so that should be a good option. But I do kind of want to save them if I can, because it's getting harder and harder every week.
Yeah. No, that Browns game is tricky. Like, it could be like a revenge game for the Texans. This is like their Texans Super Bowl, right? Like, they're probably looking at this game and be like, yo, this is a game that let's go and try and, you know, take it from them, and it's going to be an interesting game. You know, we're, like I said, we're all rooting for you. Hopefully you find a way to win this, and but that's super cool.
That'd be nice.
I've never made it to that point in a survivor pool.
Hopefully you keep it going. There's some good games tomorrow too. Chiefs, Bengals, just to watch. It's going to be a great day for
49ers,
football. Dolphins, Niners.
Yeah.
Man, that's going to be a good game.
Even
with,
Philly,
what's his name? McDaniel.
Philly, Tennessee.
McDaniel comes home.
Philly, Tennessee is going to be a good game too.
Yeah.
There's
some
just
great games.
What else is there?
I have the Ravens that I'm eyeing too, as possibly picking tomorrow against the Broncos.
Oh, you still have them?
Yeah, I still have the Ravens too, so
that might be worth a look
for me. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
again, it's harder because I kind of want to save teams, but
even Chargers Raiders. It's not like a high key high matchup, but that's going to be a good game too. Like that'll be just like an interesting game to have on. You know what I mean?
Offense, lots of offense, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. What else you got going on this week?
Not too much. Like I said, with the holiday season and stuff like that, and work's just been really, really busy. So going to be. I have a work actually Christmas party tonight, and then I have it's Safana's birthday. So shout out Safana, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. There you go. And this little birthday, get out.
So I gotta be in
out in the city.
I gotta be in two places at once tonight. I
hear that.
What about yourself?
Fun fact, Stefana shares a birthday with my mom, so happy birthday to all the late November birthdays. I am heading out to UBC in the next hour and a bit. I'm working there for most of the day, and then we got a women's hockey game, the last one of the year actually. So my weekends will be better, which will be nice. Then I got a birthday as well. So
yeah, it's God's Day tomorrow. So it's there's soccer in the morning, and it leads right into football. It's perfect. So
I mean, you could be more excited though. You could be happier about that.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want me to do?
Jump up, man.
Start
yelling. Whoa.
I don't even know what to say. I was so taken back. I was like, yeah. And then just to pick off where we finished off with that, he was like, he's like, man, I thought you'd be happy to see me. I haven't seen you in so long. I'm like, yeah, man, we're trying to make it in for overtime. He's like, go.
That's right. We were trying to get in there.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so funny. And then he didn't even come up and talk to you. He could have been more excited because he could have come up and talked to you after when we sat down.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was a fun.
There was
fun
overstimulation in that bar. There was literally like every team. There was like 6 games going on, and
CFL playoffs.
Yeah.
And all this. A lot of CFL fans out there, and 10 NFL games going on, and Aliyaz is trying to make a bet, and a bag of something on the floor. And
you finally caught your account verified, right, with your betting.
Yeah. So we can get fired up with that. We'll get that going in future episodes, hopefully.
Perfect.
As well. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. That has been another episode of Just Cuz, and hopefully get this out to you soon. I'll be aiming for Sunday, so tomorrow. And yeah, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.